So Ian Garry defeated MVP via unanimous decision, 29-28 on all scorecards. So annoying. So annoying. Yes, I do think Ian Garry was the well-deserved winner. I've seen people saying that, MVP won the fight and that he was robbed. I don't think he was. I think Ian Garry won the fight. Gutted about it, though. I absolutely despise Ian Garry, and I'm quite a big fan of MVP. But yeah, it was a pretty stinker. It was a pretty stinker of a fight, if we're being honest. It was absolutely awful. Apart from the second round, if we're being honest. I'm not just saying that because MVP won. It was the most entertaining round of the fight. Because MVP was in control and he's the more entertaining fighter out of the two. So yeah, from the notes I took, obviously, first round, Ian Garry was dominating MVP on the ground, basically. He was able to take him down early. MVP was able to, land a few odd shots on the feet at the very start of the round in the fight. But eventually, Ian Garry got him down. Ian Garry was going to work on the ground, though, to be fair, in that first round. He was able to try and get in that rear naked choke, but he did get it in, but MVP was able to break out of it. It didn't look promising at all. I honestly thought MVP was going to tap, but he managed to find a way out of it. Fair play. So yeah, there you go. Ian Garry, you didn't get your finish there. But yeah, Garry got literally all the control time in that round, though. All the control time he got the submission attempts as well, got the takedown. So yeah, MVP definitely lost that round. Ian Garry took that first round 10-9. Second round, 100% was MVP, definitely. MVP was able to outstruck Ian Garry in those first 2 minutes of the round. I think, he landed two great shots like very early on in the first few opening seconds where kind of knocked Ian Garry back a bit. He didn't have him in any major trouble. Knocked him back a bit, earned the respect of Ian Garry 100% on the feet. But yeah, I mean, look, Ian Garry didn't want to strike with MVP at all because he was obviously going to lose the fight if he did. So Ian Garry just resorted to boring grappling, boring wrestling. And like, I'm not saying that I hate wrestling and grappling. No, I like wrestling and grappling. But Ian Garry he was so boring with it, though. He was so boring with it. That's the thing. Like, I like watching good wrestlers and good grapplers, but Ian Garry's not one of them at all. He's not exactly a great grappler. He's not a good wrestler. And, it wasn't exactly great to watch, if we're being honest. And he made the fight a stinker from doing that. But yeah, MVP was doing well in those first 2 minutes. Then eventually MVP was able to get up and able to land some decent shots on Garry in the final minutes of the round as well. So MVP definitely took that second round, definitely. I mean, Garry did nothing in that second round. All Garry did was hold MVP up against the cage, basically, and that's all he did. And MVP was still able to kind of outwork Ian Garry in the clinch as well when they were up against the cage. In that third round, oh, Jesus Christ. Third round was painful to watch. MVP won the early stages, probably like the first minute, because he was able to land some good, decent shots in that round. But not a load, though. He's able to land some, which caught Garry, but didn't put him in any major trouble. And then MVP was on top position for a bit when from the takedown. MVP was on top position, but nothing really happened there. And then eventually Ian Garry was just on MVP's back for about a minute and a half, and which basically sealed the fight for him because of more control time. And overall, MVP didn't really do enough damage in that third round in order to take it. So, yeah, Ian Garry took the fight with that win. It's well-deserved when I say well-deserved, I meant he should have won the fight. It was painful to watch, though. The crowd were basically booing in that whole first round and second round. Whole first and third round. It wasn't great to watch. But yeah, then we're obviously now looking at this welterweight division. Where does Ian Garry go from here then? Who does he fight next? Who does MVP fight next? That's interesting to see. MVP still showed he's a high-level guy, 100%. 100% MVP showed he's a high-level guy. So he's still, he's going to fight guys in the rankings, even though he is ranked 14. I mean, you never know, they might put him higher anyway, to be fair. But I wouldn't mind seeing MVP versus Luke. I mean, that could that be a good matchup for MVP? I mean, Magny, I think MVP wins that. Jeff Neal, MVP wins that. You could put MVP in like with Magny, Jeff Neal, Luke possibly. For Ian Garry, I mean, ideally, I mean, to be fair though, I think that Ian Garry versus Covington would be a bit of a stinker overall, to be fair. I don't see that being an entertaining fight. I think that'd be pretty boring. But for build-up wise and stuff, that's why we'd want to see that fight. But overall, let's be real, that fight would not be entertaining at all, Ian Garry and Colby Covington. But I mean, no, to be fair though, Ian Garry would want to try and keep the fight on the feet there. So he would be more entertaining there. And Covington is a good wrestler as well, though, to be fair though. So again, that's an interesting fight. No, so it's got to be Garry versus I just realized it's a double R in Garry. But yeah, I think Covington versus Ian Garry's got to happen next. That's what I'm saying. Covington, Ian Garry, that's one that's got to happen next, 100%. I don't see what else is. I mean, if for Covington, it's either Ian Garry or Shavkat. And if I'm Colby, I don't want to go and fight Shavkat. I'd rather take the Ian Garry fight. But and for build-up wise as well, like it could main event a pay-per-view in my opinion, Ian Garry and Colby. I mean, I feel like both guys can sell. I mean, they're proving it. Both guys can sell well. So I feel like it could be main event of a pay-per-view or possibly co-main event to like Conor McGregor Chandler or something. I mean, imagine that Conor McGregor Chandler main event and then Colby versus Ian Garry co-main event. Like that'd be fantastic if that happens, if we're being honest. Then you don't even have to have a full stack card in that case if you have McGregor Chandler main event and Garry versus Colby. You don't really have to stack the card. They're two big fights in itself, really, if we're being honest. So yeah, that's what I think should happen. Anyway, yeah, for MVP, he's definitely a pay-per-view caliber fighter, 100%. Hopefully we get to see him by the end of the year against possibly Luke, Jeff Neal, or Neil Magny. I think they're fights that make sense for MVP. Anyway, thanks for watching this video, King. I'll speak to you in a bit. Thanks for watching. Peace out.